Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana also seems to be playing out here for now. We talked about this strong resistance level that Solana did not manage to break above. It then dropped down lower after this double top, dropped down lower, retested that previous resistance once more, made however a little bit of a lower low and is coming down lower and makes now a series of lower highs. Yeah, I think we can now even draw a descending trend line here. And let me take that out. So we can now draw a descending trend line, meaning we are, in my opinion, now in a short-term downtrend. As anticipated, this correction is now starting after we could count here a potential first wave in here. However, the structure, I don't really like it yet. It doesn't really yet look like a 5-wave structure, a first impulse. We can interpret it into this, and then that would mean that we would now expect an ABC correction. This would need to come down as expected, or as already mentioned in the last video, to at least the 50% fib retracement at $110. Therefore, currently anticipating further lower prices for Solana. And at the moment we are dropping further. We even dropped briefly below that important $122 level. That was an important resistance from below. It is now support. You can see that here. We dropped below it already. Retested, basically moved higher again, but making only here on the 1 hour chart a lower high for now. Looks very corrective what is coming up here, but on the other hand, what is coming down is looking fairly impulsive. So looking here generally, let's do the daily chart. Looking generally on the daily chart, we can see here that the momentum is continuing to decrease. I've been saying that for the last few days that this could be coming. And if this continues to play out, we're going to get a bearish cross here on the daily MACD. The daily MACD oftentimes decides here where the prices are heading. We've had it various times before. When we started to shift here on the 7th of February, you saw some downside potential, or some downside after that of around, let's do it, around 34%. We've seen it here as well after this bearish crossover on the, well, this was not a bearish crossover, but it started with a decreasing momentum. Yeah, so here when that happened, we saw a downside of, again here, around 25%. So now obviously we're much higher with a MACD, and we started also in line with last few times that bearish momentum, yeah, or we started to decrease the bullish momentum, and we're already down from the top around 15 to 16%. So there is more potential, because if this is really a first impulse, even though it looks very much like a 3-wave structure to me yet, still we would then expect here that first wave down or the second wave, sorry, to move at least to 110 US dollars. So that's where we are at the moment, unless Solana can really move above that, in the first instance, $143 level, and that is the first or the highest point here, that wick. And then in the next instance above 150, that would be the 200-day moving average. I think unless that is taking place, we are here continuing to be in a downtrend for now. This is what Solana needs to do. We can observe currently across the crypto market that all coins really that I'm really covering have not managed to get above the 200-day moving average. There were a few that are above it, but they have been above it throughout, for example, like the Sandbox. But other cryptocurrencies that have dropped a lot, they have moved below the 200-day moving average and are now struggling to get above, including Ethereum. That was rejected yesterday, including Bitcoin, of course, yeah, and including, VeChain, for example, and so on. So they're all struggling with that 200-day moving average. And this is where we are currently on the chart. So primarily I would expect now a little bit more of a dip, because we can see this bearish crossover coming on the daily MACD. We also were talking about the RSI being overbought. Now again, when the RSI is overbought on the daily, you can typically expect something like a more extended correction down. Yeah, and we need to see that we were here in the here when we had the last correction on the way down, we found resistance obviously at the 50 level, and we moved down quite a lot. I think we said 35% or 40, and now we are much higher with the RSI. So the downside potential is much higher. I think the next major support for the RSI would be the 50 level here on the daily. So, but until that happens, we could really move down to the next key support at around $110. And below that, you've got $106. And then we are already back very close to the target area. Yeah, and that is really everything I can tell you for now. And we can take a quick look at the 1 hour chart. But even here you can see a series of lower lows and lower highs. We can, I think, probably even draw a channel here. And again, Solana likes channels. So until we see a breakout here, we can probably follow that channel on the way down. Would this be a bull flag? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. What is coming down here looks too impulsive. Yeah, it's a bit too strong. Yeah, and yeah, this is obviously when you see a breakout to the upside of that channel, yeah, then we could break out and move higher. That is so important then to watch the chart all the time. I mean, I can only give you, as I say here, a momentary snapshot of the chart, and at the moment it's looking like that the downside momentum is increasing and that we are going down lower. Could even form here something, and I think we have probably already, but not a very clear one, depending on how you really draw it. But ideally, yeah, we could think about here possibly getting a head and shoulders pattern, and then with a neckline here. And if you lose that around $122, then we have that downside potential. So that is what I see here on the Solana chart for now. Generally, of course, very bullish, and we're talking here about price levels above $400, $450 in the medium term or longer term, in the next major wave to the upside. You can see that it takes time for all of this to play out, but don't forget, only a couple of months ago we were at around here $75 and now we are already at around 125. We were already at 145. But this again shows that there is typically always another entry point. When you miss the run to the upside, there is typically another correction and a wave 2 correction, which this one could be. As I said, typically comes down at least to the 50% Fibonacci retracement. And that is my view here on Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.